Meeting someone new here. This is a request from Jim Davidson from out there in the Midwest Supers. He said they're going to be a rookie on the tour this year. You might want to have a chat with him, and I've got him on the phone with me right now. Kenyon Zitzka is 43 years old. He ran TQ midgets in the early 2000s, just got back in here last couple of seasons, but this year he and his brother are going to be rookies in Supermodified competition with the wings on top. So let's head to Lockport. Normally, when we get a hold of Kenyon, he's going to be down in Charleston, South Carolina. Got a very cool job, but he's in Lockport working on the car here on Friday afternoon. How we doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
So, what makes a guy from TQs decide it's time to run a super?
Well, I mean, TQs are basically mini super modifieds, and the TQ I've been running the past couple seasons is actually very similar to the car we got from Mike McVetta over the winter. So it should be pretty, its speeds and power are, a lot greater than a TQ, but should be a fairly easy transition as far as car setup and working on the car.
Okay. So do you come into this season then with some kind of goal in place? Because obviously the goal is not to go out and win races right away. We have to be a little realistic, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think every racer, in the back of their minds, every race they enter, they want to win. But as far as what we've got going on, our goal is to, number one, have fun, enjoy ourselves, and keep the car in one piece and finish all the laps of all the races we enter.
So you're in the shop today. What are we doing? What's left to do on the car?
Right now we're just cleaning up the cockpit so that we, my brother's a little bit taller than me, so that we can both drive the car this year. Just rearranging the cockpit to, fit both of us in there.
So how's that going to work exactly?
We're fabricating the seat and moving the pedals around a little bit. Hopefully get a bigger fuel cell behind the seat as well, so we can run classic.
Gotcha.
But we're, fabricating a lot of our own stuff, and I'm a little smaller than Ryan, so I'll probably have to pour a seat insert. But
okay.
When we ran the TQ, we both ran that as well, so we're kind of used to doing that.
How do we decide who drives and when? Because you said he actually has a job overseas, right?
Yeah. He just took a job over in Denmark. He starts probably midsummer, so he'll probably run the first couple races, and then I'll run a few and see how his vacation schedule pans out.
Your background similar between the two of you?
Yeah. We both have mechanical engineering degrees. I've kind of got a background in the Navy, and he's got more of a background in automotive and medical devices. So I think he's kind of the perfectionist, and I'm the one who's like, okay, well, let's set the expectations correctly and get done what we need to get done to get to the track.
Who drives harder, you or him?
He hasn't been behind the wheel since we ran TQs back in the early 2000s.
Oh.
So it'll be interesting to see. He won more races and won a championship when we were racing, and I did okay. So it'll be interesting to see, who does better, and each race is a little different. So it's kind of hard to compare.
So
I think we'll both we'll both do okay.
So do you have tracks that you're looking forward to doing, and he has tracks he's looking forward to doing, kind of thing?
I think we both are looking forward to Oswego. We, growing up in Lockport, it was about 2.5, 3 hour drive out there, but our dad took us out there all the time. And of course, the Supers ran at Lancaster a lot. So I'd like to get to Lancaster. Hopefully they can schedule a race there in the coming years. But Oswego is probably both of our favorite track.
What's the attraction to a super modified with a wing on top?
It's, with both of us having an engineering background, after we run the season, we'll probably make some further changes to the car to kind of suit our needs. But the attraction is kind of the building a better mousetrap than everybody else, and just tinkering and having fun and designing something on paper and making it come to life.
Sounds to me like you're maybe even more interested in that aspect than actually getting a win, learning the car, making it your own, that kind of thing. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I mean,
sure you want to win
races, but if we can, make incremental changes and maybe eventually build a car of our own, I think that would be, one of our 5-year goals.
Okay. All right. So how is a TQ midget similar to a winged super? What are you hearing at this point that leads you to that conclusion?
Well, the car that I've ran the past couple of years, it's a old Wayne Turnbull car that I actually won in a raffle.
Oh, really?
A couple of years ago. That's actually how I got back into racing
Really?
and got the racing bug going. But it's independent inboard suspension, just like the car that we bought. So they are basically mini Supermodifieds. I think they should be called that rather than a midget, if you ask me. But they've got the offset engine, offset drivetrain, and it should be an easy transition, setup wise and working on the car, just bigger scale.
So when you entered this raffle, did you ever think you were going to win?
No. In fact, I had to make room in my garage, and that was an interesting conversation to say the least.
Yeah. Was it
I didn't think I would win.
Was it turnkey ready?
For the most part, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So obviously there was a few more things you needed at that point, because the people think, oh, just get a race car and go racing, but that's only the beginning, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to get the trailer, tow rig, and generator, and everything you need to do to work on it and service it in the pits.
Yeah, and of course, just getting yourself suited up is thousands of dollars right there. So, it's an interesting time, no doubt about that. So,
For sure.
So, how does your background in the Navy help you out, or does it?
I mean, wrenching on diesel engines and other engineering equipment on ship kind of helps you visualize what might be going on inside the race car, even though you can't see everything necessarily. And just having that knowledge, basic mechanical knowledge as you're driving a race car, you think, okay, well, I'm feeling something funny in the suspension. This might be binding up, or I might be having a problem here. Just being able to think on the fly and troubleshoot and solve problems, I think is probably the biggest benefit to them that I'm seeing from the Navy.
Yeah, because his job, when the ship comes in, there's a fleet of research ships that basically he maintains at that point. So I would imagine diagnosing that and diagnosing what's wrong with the race car, lots of similarities.
Yeah, and the communication aspect too, and being able to concisely describe problems and what possible solutions might be is pretty important too.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Coming off the track, being able to communicate to my brother what the car might be doing, and having a conversation about what we should change on the car to make it handle better, I think is an important skill to carry over.
Now, are you going to actually start on one of the practice days, or are you able to practice somewhere else, possibly?
Being close to Lancaster Speedway, I think we're going to take the car down there and fire it and check everything over, and then I think we'll go down to Jennerstown and run that. And we're going to probably do a 6 to 8 race schedule. I'd like to do more than that, but that's kind of our minimum target goal right now is to run 6 to 8 races and run the 5 race challenge series, run the Lorraine Super Crown, and maybe a handful of other races too.
Oh, so you are going to do the 5 race series, so you'll need to get a tail wing too then.
Yeah. Oh no, we've got a tail wing. Mike included a tail wing with the car, so we'll be all set for that.
Only about a minute left. So that's going to be tough, I would imagine, for a guy like you to go from a wing to a tail wing, because the guys I talked to say they couldn't be more different.
I mean, a race car is a race car, if you ask me. And the way Mike designed it, it's 4 bolts, 4 shocks, rescale the car, and it shouldn't be too bad.
Okay, yeah, because I kept thinking marks and things like that too. So if you start out there with a wing and then you go with a tail wing, you're going to have to back those marks up a little bit, aren't you?
Yep. I mean, just drive by the seat of your pants.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Now, he does not have any sponsors yet, so if you're interested in getting with somebody new like this, maybe you're a Navy man, maybe you have some background similar to Kenyon, just get a hold of him. He has a page himself, and, of course, he has a race page as well on Facebook as well. Good to meet you, man. I hope things go well for you, and keep me posted along the way, okay?
Will do. Appreciate you having me.
And, of course, the picture, that's him on the ship right there. So that's an exciting job. So whether it's on a weekend racing or during the week, Kenyon's life is very exciting. Make sure to hit that blue E down in the corner. That'll subscribe you, turn on the notifications, all that cool stuff. We'll be doing lots this summer, so make sure you don't miss a thing.